First, welcome back to Java Code Academy. Today we discuss about static keyword. When moving to the concept is, I want to say something. Imagine you are making a game. You want to count how many enemies are currently alive. You add int count equals to 0 inside your enemy class. Every time you create a new enemy, you do count incremented. But when you print the count, it always say one. Why? Because every enemy has its own copy of the variable. Today, we learn how to fix this using the static keyword to create variables that are shared by everyone. Instance versus static. To understand static, you must understand memory. Instance, no, non-static. Every time you say new enemy, Java cross out a new piece of memory. 100 enemies equals to 100 count. See this, the memory differences, instances and static means belong to object heap. 100 objects equals to 100 copies. Static is belong to class meta space and method area. 100 objects equal to one shared copy. Understand? Now this is the instance versus static. Each object has its own copy stored in heap memory created with a new accessible with object references and a static variable. One copy shared by all objects stored in metaspace. Create when class loads accessed with class name. This is the difference between static and instance comparison. When to use counter and stats. Stats means it's statistics of your like graphs and barcodes or visualizing in your dashboard. Then use that this counters also time if you want to calculate the count how many number of that like constants is public static final double pi equals to 3.14 is the common value we used that in want to calculate the pi programming to display. Utility method help us don't need the state of example math.max collections dot sort. This is the now we're moving to the counter case. Static variables are perfect for tracking shared data across all instances. When you are have a one class user class, in user class we want to calculate the total users. In used we use the keyword is static. Static means it is the constant time. Static 100 objects equals to one shared copy. It is like that. Static int total users equals to 0. I want to initializing the 0. String is a thing you which name you want to add that it is declared. User name user is string. What is username like that? We want to access the user class. What the user class is stored in the I want to get a name equals to name. Total users is when he added the user, then will code will be execute. It will check the ones and it will incremented the value. When you have to add a one user, it will be count is 1. This is our processing in code. Every time a new user is created, total users incremented once for the entire class. If create 3 enemies, enemy count will be 3. Notice how I accessed it. Enemy count, I used the class name, not the object name. We use not the object name. We use the only class name. Where class is user. Static method utility pattern. We also use static for methods that don't need object data. Think of math square root. Do you ever write math m equals to new math and a math dot square root of 25? No, because the square root logic does not care about which math object used it. It is utility. If a method doesn't use instance variable, make it static. The main method is mystery. Why is public static void main static? Because when you hit run, no object exists at Java needs a way to enter. Way to enter your code without creating an object first. Static allows the JVM to call the method directly from class. One of the dark side is the golden state, global state, global state. Be careful since static variables are global. Anyone can change them. If you one part of your code set enemy.count equals to 0 by mistake, it breaks the game for everyone. Use strictly for constants, static final or counters like that. The golden rule is if it has state, make it an object instance variable, allow each object maintain its. If it's helper, make it static. Utility method don't depends on instance. State should be static. This is the gold rule of the static method. Static variable shared all instances. Static method called with a class name helper function. Static block runs once when class load. That wrap up the oops model. Today we wrap up the advanced oops module. Next we tackling the sac sacriest topic of beginners, exception handling. In this exception handling, try catch methods are we are discuss about in the way. Tomorrow we discuss about that exception handling. Please like, share, and subscribe to Java Code Academy.